IVM.
Tridev will continue to be one of my favorite movies of the golden action era of Bollywood. Now, this is 1989. It's around the same time as, Ram Lakhan, Vishwatma. It had action, romance, drama, Tirchi Topi Wale. It had something for everyone. Apart from the fact that it has a 3 in the name, and this is Football Shootball's 3rd episode, the word Tridev actually means Trinity. And now that I've said Trinity, and I cannot not mention Carrie Ann Moss, and she's she played Trinity in The Matrix, and she's one person who changed gears on a superbike that warmed my then 13-year-old heart in a way that only prepubescent boys can understand. So talking about Tridev and prepubescent boys, joining me today to complete the holy Tridev of Football Shootball are Gaurav Sapre and Karthik Iyer. They're basically the Jackie Shroff and Nasiruddin Shah to my Sunny Deol of the Tridev. It's going to be a fun episode today. Not like our previous episodes were not fun. This is going to be a little funner. This was a weekend low on goals, but incredibly high on drama. We'll talk about the Super Saturday game, which is Spurs City. Timo Pukki's 4 goals in the first 2 games. What a player. Barcelona's opening day catastrophe. They're currently 15th in the La Liga. More about that. And of course, we'll round it up with a super insightful FPL insight. Did I say insight twice? Yes, I did. And while we're talking about that, there's a new show in town. It's called Agla Station Adulthood. It's hosted by Ritasha Rathore and Ayushi Amin. They talk about life in their mid-20s, from dating, adulting, self-care, and all the way to roadblocks in their own friendship. I wish someone had did this when I was growing up. The show premieres on the 22nd of August, which is this Thursday. Make sure you tune in into their episode every Thursday on the IVM Podcast app, website, or wherever you get your podcast from.
Hello and welcome to another awesome week at the IVM Podcast Network. If you're not following us on social media, please do. We are at IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Don't forget to take a screenshot of whatever podcast of ours that you're listening to. Take a screenshot and put in a comment about what you think about the show, and we will reshare it from our social media pages. Here's what's in store for you this week. On Cyrus Says, Cyrus is joined by Chef Vinesh Johnny, co-founder of Levon Academy. He talks to Cyrus about what goes into running a pastry school and how his life led him to be a pastry chef. On Ganatantra, hosts Alok and Sarayu are joined by Dr. Andrew Whitehead to discuss the various implications of the repeal of Article 370 and the complicated history and future of Kashmir. On 9XM Soundcast, host Eva Bhatt is in conversation with music composer and singer Clinton Cerejo. Clinton shares his journey from producing ad jingles to composing Bollywood soundtracks and being invited to Berklee School of Music. On Paperback, Racheta and Satyajit talk to playwright and poet Nikhil Katara about absurd plays and Kafka's letters that have influenced him. On the Pragati podcast, Sambit Das joins Pawan Srinath to talk about medical education and the NMC Act. Just a little announcement, the new episodes of Pragati podcast will be available every Wednesday starting next week. On the Edges and Sledges cricket podcast, Varun, Ashwin and DJ are discussing England's struggle in the Ashes, Nathan Lyon's performance, the retirements of Dale Steyn, Hashim Amla and Brandon McCullum, and also the India-West Indies T20 matches. On Mr. and Mrs. Binge Watch, Janice and Anirudh talk about The Great Hack, The Loudest Voice and The Final Year, stories that have starred Donald Trump. On Marbles Lost and Found, Zain and Avanti talk to former IVM staffer Janam Dewan about grief and loss. And with that, let's get you back onto your show.
And we're back to Football Shootball. Before I let you guys have your first words in on the episode, continuing on our traditions of celebrating international days. Last week was Tell a Joke Day. So apart from Fulham, Karthik, are there any other good jokes you know about?
So I have this trademark jokes in school. Yeah, a man was flying. He flew away. Sorry.
What?
Yeah, that's it.
When did you stop telling this joke?
Siri just said, I'm not sure I understand. Can you use the other joke, please? And we can edit this out. I can do that again if you want me to.
No, I'm not. I don't have anything at hand.
Just use the Adele joke.
Oh, the Adele joke. Why did Adele cross the road?
I have no idea.
To say hello from the other side.
Nice. You're not singing that because we got a couple of requests so that Karthik should sing every time on every episode. So I'm surprised you're not singing this.
The others had the other kind of request for not wanting to let him sing. But yeah, Tridev, I love Sangeeta Bijlani.
Okay, no, I'm for that. Karthik, have you heard of the movie Tridev?
No, but when you spoke about Trinity and Matrix, so today in the papers, there were 3 UP boys who were changing gears on the bikes also and removing their tops. They were arrested. Like right now, I just read that.
Karthik, Trinity didn't take her top off.
Yeah, I know.
It's a different kind of Matrix you watched.
Yeah.
Funny story, the Matrix in Hindi, it was translated, dubbed. It was called Maya Jal. So, yeah, so I don't know how they landed on Maya Jal, but we are in the Maya Jal. It's a simulation. So, starting with today's first thing, which is the EPL
So, 1 second,
week.
you say we're in a simulation and just let it be there.
Yeah.
And we just move on to...
Yeah, because I mean, there's Elon Musk who's tweeting enough and more about it. I can't really add more. I think we're in a simulation. I think there's a higher being somewhere who's doing all this, and it's a higher being than VAR. Who knows what is happening? And they know for sure what's happening, not like VAR. Should we say VAR or should we say VAR? Because VAR suddenly seems like not cool.
Let's just say VAR.
VAR.
VAR. Okay, we're sticking with that. So, sticking with VAR and sticking with the most fun we had on this weekend, City versus Spurs. What do you guys think?
In terms of VAR, in terms of the overall match?
Either, whichever you want to go with first.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about VAR because it just keeps happening every time City play. So we'll have many more instances to talk about it. But I want to talk about the match. City's dropped points in their second match. Yeah, so City B team now has a chance to go on top. But yeah, 2-2, I think, is anybody else in this league apart from City or someone who can give City a tough fight. It's the squad that the Spurs team have this year. In fact, the top 6 teams, Spurs have the least amount of points that they've taken from the other 5 teams. But looking at the squad this time and the way Ndombele has, just hit the ground running, they are a serious, if not a threat, but it'll be competitive to see them.
Yeah, they bought Ndombele, they bought Lo Celso, they bought VAR. Like, there's everything going for them.
Yeah, like, it's funny that you talk about the squad. One of the pivotal players, Eriksen, his future hangs in the balance. I mean, if you remember the first game, Spurs weren't really doing much until Eriksen came on and he played 26 minutes, which literally changed the game. So what do you think about, Eriksen's being, there, not there? Is he going to Madrid? What happens then?
I don't see him going to Madrid. I don't think Daniel Levy is going to sell him. If Spurs do well this season and if it happens by December, they will hand him a new contract, which he will happily sign. I mean, there was the same story about Alderweireld last season that he'll leave and all of that. He's still there. In fact, Vertonghen, I don't know, his spot is under threat now.
So from what I've read in most dependable sources...
Sorry, but Vertonghen's spot is under threat in my FPL side as well. Like, he's not there.
We'll get to your catastrophic FPL places. There's a lot of catastrophes today. There's Barcelona, there's your FPL team.
You can't start the show on such a low, depressing
on a
point.
gloomy note.
In your language.
Karthik's word. But Eriksen has supposedly been offered a 200k a week deal, and he's still hanging on to the fact that he wants to play in different part of the world,
which is fair, but they are not going to let him go.
I mean, it's not their choice anymore because they can continue to hang on to him for this season, and he'll continue to diminish his value till he leaves in maybe a January or eventually
you
a
never
transfer.
know, right? If any other player is easier to get for, let's say, he wants to go to Madrid. It's not like he's just wanting to leave Spurs. He wants to go specifically to Madrid. If the team currently does well, and if they get probably a Pogba next season, Eriksen's value will anyways dip. Right? Or let's see how Madrid actually performs.
See, Madrid don't have a problem with money. So they're okay with splurging money. They wanted to go after Pogba. That didn't happen, which is why they switched to Eriksen. And now Eriksen, we have only till the September 2nd. So it's make or break. It's just 12 days from...
Yeah, but right now, Madrid want Eriksen more than whatever. So Eriksen has the upper end. He'll ask for a certain fee, which will inflate their wage bill, which is what's happening at Barcelona.
I don't think Madrid will have a problem with it.
They will. So they will have. We never thought Barcelona would have a problem, but they do have a problem now.
Yeah.
So let's wait till December. I don't see him leaving this transfer window. If it happens in January, it may. But I think till then, Spurs will be in a better position. If he goes, they can buy a replacement in Jan. And Son is still yet to come and play. So once he comes in this team...
Yeah.
When just glorious football at Spurs again.
Yeah, but I think Eriksen and Son play very different roles in the Spurs league, in the Spurs team. So I'm not too sure about where Spurs are. But specifically, also I'm an Arsenal fan. If you already didn't know that, so I will hate on Spurs as much as I can. I try and be rational and appreciate. Like, I love Lamela. He played fantastic football over the weekend as well. He got a couple of assists, right? So
scored a good goal.
He got a goal and an assist. So if you had him in your FPL team, kaching. I doubt many people had Lamela in their team. Yeah, why would you have Lamela in his team?
Spurs were thinking twice before putting him in his squad of 26.
Son, tu pakka nahi aa raha kya? ठीक है, Lamela khel. But so that brings me to the return of De Bruyne.
KDB, he was awesome.
What a player.
He missed out last season, and I think he feels bad that he missed out on a title-winning season.
He's already made up for it in 2 games.
Oh, he has. What is that statistic? 3 assists this year. Last entire season,
3 assists.
2 assists.
2 assists, yeah.
Something of that sort. So, yeah, he's back to his best. And City they had 30 plus shots compared to, I think, Tottenham's 3 on target.
Would you say Tottenham got lucky because it's a draw?
Absolutely. Tottenham have a love affair with the video assistant referee. I mean, it just keeps going their way, especially in games with Manchester City. And I feel bad for Pep. I feel bad for Sterling. I feel bad for, who was it with the handball? Rodri? When the goal was disallowed.
Laporte.
With the handball.
He had no fucking clue. I mean, he had no idea that the ball hit him on the hand. And he essentially just, the ball was really far away from when it actually went in the goal. So I'm not going to touch upon that. We will need more than the next 30 minutes to discuss this. But do you think Spurs are good enough to be second after City, Sapre? Considering it's given that City are going to win.
Yeah,
now we're
of course.
discussing second,
But the
third,
way
fourth.
it's going, I do believe they are slightly better than Liverpool in terms of competing for the second one. I think other teams will find a weakness in Liverpool. Not this weekend when they're playing Arsenal, of course.
Oh, wow.
But through
nice.
the season,
Big words coming from someone who got 1 point from Wolves. Nice.
appreciate a beautiful goal
Sure.
that Martial scored.
Of course. Very nice. What about the one Pogba scored? Oh, he didn't score. He missed
So
again.
Martial has reached 50 goals for United faster than Cristiano Ronaldo.
Oh, wow.
For the same club.
Yeah,
Okay.
United
Statistics.
Yeah, the club just keeps sending these random stats.
Octajo के साथ कोई अच्छा है क्या?
Like at 20 when Ronaldo had played X number of games and scored Y number of goals, and Rashford has played the same number of games but so many more goals.
Yeah.
But theek hai abhi.
So now that we're on the topic of United and Wolves, what happened last night with Pogba? Let's start with the penalty decision. That Rashford and Pogba decided to have a quick chat. Looked like Rashford was going for the ball because he is technically the designated penalty taker. But from what I hear, Ole said, "Dono le sakte hai, jiska man kiya us din." And he also said, "I really like the confidence with which Pogba went for the ball." Amazing. Goal mara, nahi mara. What's the point?
I can't believe what happened there. I mean, Rashford has not missed a professional penalty in his entire career.
Yeah.
He just scored one last weekend. Just take the ball and put it again back in the net. And Pogba with his stupid runs to take those penalties. Yesterday was fine, in fact. But you remember last year?
Yeah.
Where he would jump up and down in the same place, waste about half an hour and then run towards the ball.
He stuttered with the kick yesterday. So
In fact, there's a hashtag that things you can do while Pogba takes a penalty. And Luke Shaw used that hashtag and said, get injured, come back, renew your career and sign a contract.
Luke Shaw is...
I thought he was going to say like finish a pastry or something.
Oh, wow. We will get to the overeating in a while with the ex-United player, not just yet. So do you think Wolves, they scored a fantastic goal. That is, 3 points in any other game, but they were playing United. The good part is United got a point, which is an improvement from the performance over the last.
Yeah, we were looking at
games.
1 point from the first 2 games. We got 4.
Oh, wow.
So
who would have thought?
Nobody. Nobody. Even the players who scored couldn't think of that.
No, but I'm surprised that Wolves dragged it back and they turned it on in the second half. Very impressed with their performance.
It's been a tough ground for United, even last season. We lost.
You're talking about Old Trafford, or what?
No, Old Trafford has been difficult for the past 3 seasons.
You're talking about Molineux.
De Gea had 2 clean sheets at Old Trafford the entire of last season. He already has 1 this season. So.
Nice. So he's almost done.
Yeah. Kota khatam ho gaya ye saal ka.
While we're talking about goalkeepers, quick word on Adrian, the clean sheet he took away from everyone.
So it seems Liverpool are now buying a 4th goalkeeper.
Oh, really?
Michael Worm, the Swansea guy.
Swansea
he was
number
good.
2. He was good.
So Liverpool, I think today, at the time of recording, have made an offer after seeing Adrian's performance on the weekend. They were like he would rather have stayed injured. And
Klopp also must have made that 4.5 million change. No? Think Alisson come
in his team.
Suddenly Van Dijk, Robertson, everyone's lost that clean sheet.
Liverpool's goalkeeping woes are here to stay.
For at least the next 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sad for Liverpool. Considering they are top, they're number 1 over the weekend for the first 2 games. Arsenal are number 2. Let's all go home. I think this is the highest we will get. Chalo, abhi ghar chalte hain.
Please enjoy this moment. You're playing Liverpool over the weekend.
So it's top 2 battle, na? Matlab first versus second.
And Arsenal and Liverpool are the only 2 sides with a 100% record, correct?
Yes.
Everyone else has either drawn
Arsenal won their first 2 games in the league for the first time in 10 years. And Unai Emery was asked about this and he's like, Acha, main to abhi aaya hu. So, I mean, it's a fantastic place to be at Arsenal because they're playing some good football, but they played against very average sides. So, the test, the proof of the pudding is in the eating on the weekend when Arsenal take on the league leaders. That brings me to the league leader of goals. What do you guys think about Timo Pukki? Did you guys have him in your team?
Oh, yeah. No, I had never heard of him. Until he scored
So
on the
honest.
first
No,
weekend.
same. I had not heard of him.
Nobody had heard of him apart from the scout.
What a pick.
And after the first game.
Yeah.
Actually, he was one of the players to look out for because
Yeah.
he was the top scorer in the championship last season.
Yeah. A lot of goals.
He had an okay career before that. I mean, Finnish guy, 29 years of age, has played at Brøndby and some other clubs.
Schalke, Celtic.
Yeah. So he had a very good season last year, of course, in the championship, helped Norwich come back. And there was an article that had come in before the scouts started to do their job, is the kind of teams and where will they finish. And Norwich, people are saying, will be relegated.
Oh,
so no one really,
that's news.
So no one really thought of picking up this guy. But 4 goals, as good as Raheem Sterling.
Yeah, not
I
bad
just
at all.
hope it doesn't turn out to be another Mitrovic from last season, who started very well. A lot of people,
Do you think you're overestimating Fulham's players?
Do you see my nose flaring up here? Mitrovic is awesome.
He is.
Yeah, he
And,
stuck with Fulham even in the championship. I mean, of course he's awesome. किसी ने खरीदा ही नहीं.
Look, I'm saying he played well. A lot of teams picked him in the Premier League, but I think he scored 11 goals.
That's
at the
about
end
it.
of
And most of it happened in the first half of the season.
Yeah. So I just hope we don't get to see him.
No, but Timo Pukki looks more like the guy who'll end up like, remember Andy Johnson or Jamie Vardy?
Jamie Vardy,
He's-
yeah.
it's
Jamie Vardy currently plays for
still,
Leicester.
yeah.
So people, I hope, remember Jamie Vardy. But my one submission for Timo Pukki is he's played, one amazing goal against Liverpool. No doubt about that. Took everyone's clean sheet away. 3 goals against a very, very weak Villa side.
Pukki means goat in Flemish.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
So
Parents knew.
ये लड़का बड़ा होके
मैं भी गोल मारेगा.
Yuck. See, that is actually a good joke. That is better than your flu. Whatever influenza joke you made.
I think your joke reminded me of my joke that I used to tell people in school, which is, what's the difference between a fly and a mosquito?
A fly can fly, but a mosquito can't mosquito.
Oh wow, that's good.
This is English medium school, so probably.
It's very bad. Better than yours, yes.
So these jokes have been a catastrophe. What else has been a catastrophe, Karthik? 1-0 against Athletic Bilbao.
Oh yeah, Barca. My God, it was a boring game.
Oh man, I fell asleep.
Very boring.
So I think boring is one way to describe it because I was watching it on my favorite channel, Facebook.
Yeah.
When Suarez was bored, he said, I'm going to get injured. I can't
man.
deal with this pace.
It was just so boring. I mean,
But to be fair, it was worth the wait when you have a 38-year-old Arduris come on and.
yeah, I waited for the morning and then I saw the highlights.
No, fair enough. It was. But it was good scenes. Yeah, when there's a video where he goes to the dressing room and everyone is applauding him. Everyone except the guy he came on for. Inaki Williams is nowhere there.
Fight.
And Inaki Williams has now signed a 9-year contract.
9-year contract?
And
What is this, a
Arduris
government service?
is retiring at the end of this season.
Oh yeah, of course, 38. He's 38.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a fantastic goal for someone who's 38.
Quick, interesting fact here. I don't know why it's interesting, but
Yeah, you said so might as well.
Inaki Williams was trending on Twitter one day before the transfer window shut, and nobody knew why. Apparently, United wanted to go for him because Lukaku was supposed to go there.
Oh really?
And after that, he signs this massive contract at Athletic Bilbao. Nobody knew who he was.
Yeah. Clear like Timo Pukki. No one knows who he is. But he's doing really well.
But it was a boring game. I agree with Karthik.
What do you think about Griezmann? Oh, he was good. I mean, both of you wanted him to fail. Are you happy now?
No, not really. I mean, he was under pressure. There was no Messi anyway. Suarez had to go off, so suddenly he
Are you saying Barcelona's a one-man team?
They're not a one-man team, but...
Or you just said that.
they should be beating guys like Bilbao with or without Messi.
Exactly.
But again, it's a tough. I think last season also in both the matches...
Yeah, they couldn't beat
Bilbao. So it's a tough start.
They're the Wolves to Barcelona's United.
Yes.
Yeah, we shouldn't be saying Barca and United in the same sentence or in the same breath.
Unless there's R not in the middle.
Please let me enjoy this, Karthik. I don't know when will this happen again.
No, but they were poor and Griezmann was under pressure. I mean, suddenly there's no Suarez, there's no Messi, and he's like, I have to stand up right now in his first game.
And there's Dembele.
What about Dembele?
So this is what I read today. He was injured in the match and he was called for an assessment by the medical team the next morning. Dembele being Dembele did not turn up the next morning. He goes there on Monday, which is also late.
नया शुरू करेंगे नए हफ्ते से.
So everyone's pissed off.
And this was a Friday night, so he basically waited 2 days.
He waited 2 days.
Wow.
I just left.
So he's injured. He's out for a few weeks. And his disciplinary problems are going nowhere.
It's PlayStation problems. Yeah, the guy plays FIFA the entire time.
That's what Ozil does. Ozil got a back problem last year because he's playing PUBG.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he has a back problem because at least that's what I heard. It said Ozil is away with an illness. You know what the does an illness mean? Matlab fever hai.
Addiction to gaming.
Yeah.
So apparently his neck and back were hurting because he's bent over the whole time. Are you so rich? Buy like a stand or something, man, to play PUBG. Like put it on a big screen. But who has a chote se iPhone 10 pe?
Is that why Kola was in that car? Just to support him?
Because he was playing PUBG. But I mean, so what about Valverde? What do you think? Is he going to make changes? Is the side going to see an overall?
I don't think there's a single Barcelona fan or supporter out there who wants Ernesto Valverde to stay.
Really?
Yeah, but I think Messi probably, if he has Messi's backing, which currently he still does, he's going to stay. If they get in Neymar, it could be a game changer for Barcelona. So I think there's a bit of time.
So for everyone who's not familiar with the phrase Messi's backing, can you just give us a little more detail on Messi's backing for the Argentina squad or the Barcelona
it's basically
squad?
You need to be on a WhatsApp group with Lionel.
Okay.
If you're on a WhatsApp group,
So who adds you? Messi adds you?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. But or he gives it to Suarez. He makes Suarez admin as well. And,
Chal, add kar.
yeah. So what I find strange about Neymar is apparently even the Real Madrid guys now are poaching him from the side. So basically Neymar now has another WhatsApp group with the Madrid players.
What debauchery is this on WhatsApp groups? It's the lowest level of debauchery. Matlab, he's on 3 WhatsApp groups.
Yeah, but it'll be fun to see Barcelona. And surprisingly, Madrid, for all their preseason problems, ended up winning. So kudos to Zidane for starting Bale.
Yeah.
And for Madrid for coming out against a tough Celta Vigo side.
And for Bale to score.
Yeah. Did he?
He scored?
He assisted the first goal.
He assisted, yeah.
He assisted.
Same thing. I mean, for Bale, it's just
Utna to kiya na, matlab. Shuruaat to hui hai.
Correct.
Yeah. And also this was, I think, the first time in the longest time that 4 reigning champions across the European leagues, neither of them won.
Drop points, yeah.
And I think all 3 draws. PSG lost. And who else? Bayern Munich, of course, 2-2.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that was a good game.
Fun game.
Yeah.
Bundesliga. It's always fun. It's a minimum of 6 goals.
I think Karthik is the biggest supporter, biggest cheerleader that Bundesliga will ever have.
Every time we decide we will not talk about Bundesliga, the conversation somehow goes towards that, where you can just extrapolate that point out. But kudos to you, Karthik, for that.
Yeah, well done. So that brings me to the fun part, the fantasy of this week. How did you guys do? I know exactly how you guys did, but let's hear it from you guys.
Karthik, I'll allow you to go first.
I thought I did very well, but before coming to the studio today, I met you outside and you said I fell from last weekend.
Yeah, that is possible. Because new people joined, right? So you got even worse.
I did well, right?
No, but I had Marshall who scored. I had the Trossard.
Yeah, Trossard came on for you. No, Karthik, it's everyone has to come together. It's not just 2 people who do well.
Oh, this is tough, yeah.
Of course it's tough. If it was easy, then...
Also, I think the algorithm is looking at team names and just considering where to position them. Yaman will not be in the top 10.
But we have a new league leader. I'm number 2, like my favorite team, Arsenal.
Yeah.
I have been toppled from the number 1 spot, and the number 1 spot has been taken up by King card too. Aptly named. This is Tanishq, who's on 82 points. Very smart wild card. Huge shout out for Tanishq. Impressively taken Timo Pukki. He's a believer. He had Mane. He also had Mount, Aubameyang captain. What foresight!
And he's
So,
got and
wildcard
Dean,
is-
and Dean in
Yeah.
the defense.
Digne.
Wildcard is that unlimited transfers.
We'll discuss this after.
No, so he waited 1 week and then he used this.
So there is a smart
Right.
way to do it and there's a not smart way
So
to
it's
do it.
not smart, right?
But he's leading the league.
Yeah,
So
this is small pleasures for later. He's going to fall. He's going to come below me also.
okay,
And,
okay.
yeah.
So Tanishq, watch out.
Below you?
Tanishq, watch out. Karthik is coming for you, man.
Yeah, man.
We're coming for you. And number 3 continues to be our favorite squad on the league. Childish Firmino.
Oh, yeah.
And okay, so Childish Firmino, who's Divesh Tejwani. I mean, I was actually rooting against you. Like little secret here, but because you had Greenwood, who came on the 88th minute. If Greenwood hadn't played yesterday, he would have gotten Lundstrom on. With
Lundstrom
14
scored,
points.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Lundstrom scored and a clean sheet because he's wrongly placed as a defender in the FPL.
Wow, okay.
So he got 14 points, which is also 3 bonus. So if Greenwood hadn't played that 1 minute, Childish Firmino would have, I think, gone top. If I'm not
Let's
wrong.
not talk about if had this happened or had that happened.
Huh.
Like,
Ifs
I would have
and
been
buts.
first. No? If for week 1 I was smarter
Yeah.
and had more ballsy, I would have been first. But I
So
wasn't.
you are smart.
where is Sapre?
Sapre is actually tied for 4th.
Oh,
with,
okay. That's
he did
impressive.
okay. He
Yeah.
got 47 points, not bad at all. He had Sterling. He captained. Sapre. I mean, I don't want to say it. Do you want to say it?
Harry
Maguire.
Maguire.
Harry Maguire.
Because you also sent me a text when I told you, maybe you should captain Digne. You said
Does
something
Messi
else.
talk about his WhatsApp group? No, he doesn't, right? So we should talk about it. Let's act like our idols.
Fair. So I will talk about the guy who's actually drawn with you for 4th and 5th.
No, let's talk about top 4.
Saints FC is on the 5th position right now. They're actually tied at 136. Nachiket Sant, very well done. He also had Greenwood, so sorry about that. But he had Pukki, he did a good job of that. He had Henderson in goal, so he got 9 points. Very well done. Producer Shlok, if you can hear me, can you quickly update us on your position in the in the group?
51.
51 and
Come on!
So Karthik, how did you do?
I did decently. I'm above Slok for sure.
Yeah, you captained Firmino.
Yeah.
You also had Marshall. Toussaint came on. It's not a bad deal. I think you did pretty well.
But there's something wrong now. If I'm not climbing because of after doing so well. Like,
No, Karthik. So the deal is other people are joining the league, and you can also, if you're listening to this, and you can also, join us and participate with with Football Shootball's Fantasy Premier League. The code is 4, as in the number 4. W as in Wanyama. G as in Giroud, D as in Dembele, 9, which is the number 9, and N Ndombele. So that's 4 W G D N 9 N. And hope you have already found us. Yeah, please open the app, quickly sign in. I'm sure you've already signed in. Karthik, do you know how to sign in? Oh, Karthik, you're installing the app. Okay, so that explains a lot. We will be right back with more on Football Shootball. Stay tuned.
Hello everyone, welcome to Tech Careers in the new podcast series presented by Accenture. I'm your host Shiladitya Mukhopadhyay. In this podcast series, we'll get you the latest and greatest in the world of technology that's shaping the future of business as we know it. We're talking intelligent platforms, cloud, AI, blockchain, extended reality, and a whole lot more. Every fortnight on Wednesdays, we'll have for you a hot topic with expert speakers from Accenture talking about top trends in the space, how these are changing the world and creating growth across industries. And importantly, we'll tell you how you can learn more, build your skills and expertise to grow and stay relevant in your career. Episodes out on the IVM Podcast app or wherever you get your podcast from.
So guys, I discovered Instagram.
One more app you installed.
Yeah.
It's huge. Does Instagram know?
But our listeners will have to wait till the end of the episode to know where you can find me.
Wow.
On Insta. But you know how I came across it? While watching Premier League today, they had this list of the 11 of the Premier League's most followed footballers on Instagram.
Nice.
Now, this is not an order of most followed, but in a formation. So it's one goalkeeper, the 4 biggest defenders, the 4 most followed midfielders, and the 2 strikers.
Oh,
Okay.
wow. Okay.
Let's get some guesses in. Goalkeeper.
De Gea.
Of course. I mean, that's a given.
Yeah, that's a given.
Not given. De Gea.
Yeah. Sapre, you follow Manchester United. Of course,
Hopefully.
we already spoke about De Gea. There are 2 more Manchester United players.
Paul Pogba.
Of course.
Of course. एक ही तो काम आता है उसे.
Now one more, and I'll drop you home if you get this right.
You are anyways dropping it. So that doesn't. What position?
Defender.
Not Harry Maguire. I'm guessing. Not Harry Maguire. Not, which is I guess.
His head is too big to get into an Instagram picture.
Oh.
Luke Shaw?
Gee.
He's Argentinian.
Marcus Rojo?
Even you're surprised.
Why?
You should see
It's
your
a fake
face
account.
right now.
I'm sure you follow
It's
him.
a fake account.
Sapre goes and likes everything he puts
And
up.
the next hint will stick in South America.
Yeah.
This is another. It's a left field one completely. And he plays for Everton. Any guesses?
Everton.
Yeah, he's a central defender. I think they're all central defenders.
Digne.
No,
Argentine.
he's Colombian.
Hey, Yerry Mina.
Yes.
Nice. Oh wow, why do people follow him? I mean, he can't follow the ball half the
Everton can
time.
buy him. Yeah, people can follow him. Come on.
He's ex-Barcelona, right?
Yeah, he
So is Sanchez. You know what's happening with him?
He's ex-Arsenal
So
also.
United have 3 in this list, and the champions of Europe have only 2.
Oh really?
Well, they're pretty simple. Liverpool,
Salah.
of course.
Firmino.
One more. No.
Oxlade-Chamberlain.
No, oh my God. Ox is probably not even on Instagram.
Yeah, I'm sure he's on Instagram.
He's putting up pictures of his rehab.
like Owen Hargreaves. Please put me in the
What
team.
position at
Tagging
least?
club.
Defender.
Trent
Come on.
Alexander-Arnold.
No, it's so simple.
Van
Van
Dijk.
Dijk. Van Dijk. अरे वो सबसे बड़ा है
He's
तो
second most expensive
Yeah.
defender now. So I just एकदम से आता नहीं दिमाग
So
में.
we have one more defender to go, and this guy, he's shaggy head, and it looks very weird with the new club he's playing for.
David Luiz. David Luiz.
Yeah.
David.
बड़ा गंडू से.
And we have in midfield, we have one strange Chelsea player here. I never expected him to
Kante?
be there. No, Kante doesn't go online. Like,
Wow, that is a different level of
Chelsea midfielder.
yeah, and it's a bit left field because he's been around. He's
Pulisic.
experienced.
Achha, not
No,
Pulisic.
He's
no.
been around.
He's been around.
Sorry. He's been around in Karthik's team for 2 weeks now. So-
Don't tell me it's Danny Drinkwater, dude.
No,
Thank you.
It isn't. But you have to also think of countries where there are probably a lot of people. And
Brazil.
Yes. So
Brazil. Who's Brazilian?
He's Brazilian.
Jorginho.
No.
Who else?
But that's good. But you were thinking Jorginho. He'll have both Italian and Brazilian. So
Oh,
Willian.
Yes.
Oh my God, Willian.
So Willian's there. Then
वो bench पे बैठता तो बहुत कर सकता.
Aubameyang, Lacazette.
Aubameyang is not there. Laka is also not there. My God, their Instagram store is not working clearly.
What?
But the friend who comes with them on some of their
Ozil.
videos, yes, of course.
Ozil. Hey, PUBG.
Him and his bug eyes. He's a hit on Instagram. And there's one more midfielder, a guy who we spoke about at the start of the show. He's going through a resurgence in this Premier League.
Kevin De Bruyne.
And
nice.
up front, we have De Bruyne's teammate, a striker, the last person in the Instagram 11 for the Premier League.
Aguero.
That is incorrect. Sapre.
Does he turn wine to water? Because that's what he's been doing.
Absolutely. Gabriel Jesus is the last. So
Do you say Jesus? Do you say Jesus?
Jesus.
Depends.
Yeah.
What do you want from him?
I learned this while watching a movie called American Born Confused Desi,
ABCD.
where the Indian teacher calls out the names of the students and like, Jesus! Say Jesus.
There are people in India called Jose, you know that, right? But it's pronounced Jose, it's not Jose.
Yeah. I used to have Father Jose. It's not Jose. It's Jose.
Oh, sorry, I stand corrected. You clearly
For
are
a-
closer
for
to
a guy
Gabriel Jesus.
who can't say think and say sink. You can call him Jose. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, fair. Yeah. I
na.
think. So last few things that we want to really talk about today are some of the mad shit that happened over the week. Starting with Lukaku, I mean, he's still in the news. What happened, Karthik?
I think people said that he was overweight. People, when I say, is this person sitting on my right?
Including Gary Neville.
Yeah.
And Gary Neville is not sitting on your right.
And Lukaku,
Just to clarify.
what he does, he removes his shirt in front of, this is clearly some hotel he's at, some bathroom ka toilet.
Bathroom ka toilet. How deep did he go into that hotel?
Oh, I
room?
mean mirror, sorry. Yeah. And then,
Mirror on the wall.
Who's the chubbiest of them all?
so he takes a photo and he's looking pretty ripped. He looks like one of those UFC fighters.
Yeah.
Yeah. But on the comments to his photo, there are still people complaining, no, you're supposed to be lean. You're not. Can you guys let him be?
Yeah.
He's a goal scorer. He's going to score goals. I mean...
Yeah, the thing is, in anyone's head, when you say 100 kgs, it might seem a little excessive. And the first thing they think of is 100 kgs to matlab overweight.
Yeah.
But the thing is, 100 kg of muscle. And he can
it's
push people
It's very
apart.
simple. Hazard was 7 kgs overweight.
Correct. He topped him also. Usse bada
Belgian.
Bye.
Lukaku is 4 kgs overweight. Right? Which is basically
But
a
how
couple
do you
of
say
meals.
overweight? You don't get an exact weight now. If you're that height, you are within a range.
Yeah.
So I can be anywhere between 70...
Karthik, I can definitely say you're overweight. Whatever range you are in, you are little more than that.
Yeah, let's not talk weight. We're nice people. We don't talk about weight.
Yeah, but about Hazard. Hazard was damn funny. When people said that he has come into preseason overweight, he's taken a video of himself. He looks a bit chubby. Like it's
So judgmental.
Learn from Costa, the best.
I don't know why he took the video, but
very judgmental.
So hope Lukaku, you shed those whatever fat
Extra
muscle,
4 kgs of muscle.
protein. He's
Lukaku,
also
you do
he
you,
said-
man. You do you. Don't listen to these guys. If you're listening in Lukaku, follow me on Instagram.
No, but on a particular video, he said that the best thing that you get. He was asked, "Is the food better in England or in Italy?" He said, "In Italy." Because there were a lot of salads.
Oh, very nice. Very correct. Like,
So
very
he's
correct.
there, he's there.
Correct जवाब.
Pizza
Emo हो
is
गया.
also
Emo हो गया वो बिल्कुल खाने के बारे में. अरे, while we're talking about emotional,
Yeah.
someone really got emotional over the weekend. Like tears and shit. Never would have expected.
yeah, what happened?
Jose Mourinho
Oh.
was asked about his time. He's on a panel now. He's not really managing anyone, and he shed a few tears.
Yeah, not on the panel. He was shedding tears because he has to be on that panel with Gary Neville and Carragher and Graham Souness.
किसके साथ बैठा दिया यार?
So that's like the worst thing. But this is the first time he's not started a season with a team. Whenever he's been fired mid-season. But the next summer he comes up with a new team.
Whenever he's been fired, which is so many times.
Which is enough number of times. And from every club that he was at.
Yeah.
So I missed this. What was he saying? He wants to get back into management?
Of course he wants to get back into... But he's sad that he can't start a season with a team. Now,
ऐसा आँख से आंसू आ गया बिल्कुल यार मतलब full senti.
now he's waiting for Valverde to be fired. I was
just gonna say that.
somebody.
Yeah, anyone sees him going to Barcelona, that'll be awesome.
That'll be mad.
Could be. So I hope he comes back into management.
Yeah.
Because on that panel, when he's speaking, all the other three idiots just shut up because they don't know
Because they
what
have
to do.
to. It's Jose Mourinho.
Like when
you have to
Karthik
listen.
speaks, you and I shut up, right?
Yeah, we try. we try. But like, sir, मेरा भी एक point है, छोड़ो जाने दो. While we talk about people who on the panel and should shut up, someone else should shut up, and they also got really mad at VAR, which we just spoke about. Jesus, Jesus, Gabriel, however you want to address
He has
him.
the worst luck with VAR. In the Copa America, the final that took place versus Peru, they're winning. They won 2-0. Now, in the 90th minute or something, Gabriel Jesus gets his second yellow or a direct red card after a VAR review.
Yeah, after a review.
He goes down that VAR machine, which looks like one of those pinball games.
PUBG. Jose is playing PUBG on VAR.
He just goes, he kicks and he pushes it. Yeah, in the final. And I think now for that he's been suspended for 3 months and probably been asked to replace that machine as well.
I think that is pocket change for Jesus.
And this time he said after the match, VAR is shit.
Poor Jesus, man. I feel
Poor
for him.
chap.
Yeah.
Okay, that was awesome. That was so much fun today.
No. Wait, did you see the video?
Which video? Oh, I completely forgot. How did I forget? I'm sorry. So Roberto Pereira is never going to make my FPL team again. And I will just not look at him the same way again. Because also, by the way, you just fulfilled everyone's request of one song on the podcast.
Oh,
it was just not Karthik's.
So you know who's remaining in the next week.
Oh man, I don't sing. This is not a Russian roulette.
No, but Shivram can sing. Roberto Pereira should never dance. Okay, just because Ronaldo danced in that stupid ad, but he's Ronaldo.
Hey,
Pereira
Shopee. I want to buy whatever he's selling, man. It was really funny.
Everybody in the stadium was buying.
Yeah,
So
because they came for a game and they're just like, "Arey, kya Amazon pe discount hai? Arey, Shopee pe discount hai?" And they're all looking into their phones. That was funny. But tell me more about...
so if you're not sure of what we're talking, please go on and check this video. That
go to Watford's Facebook page, YouTube channel. They were very proud of it.
Channel. They've put out a video on the ground, in the training ground, with Radhika Bangia and Roberto.
Who is? Wait, who is who? I don't know both.
Radhika Bangia is 12th most followed. No, not really.
Instagram.
She's in the top 25,000 people followed on Instagram in India.
Oh wow, what a stat, Karthik. Can you name the other 20?
So there's a nice dance sequence between her and Roberto Pereira. Both of them can't dance.
Nice.
It could have been a TikTok video. She didn't have to do all of that. What terrible, man. It just...
Yeah, I mean, किसी agency ने बोला होगा ना. Take these.
कौन agency?
Take these top. I mean, Watford का agency कैसा होगा मतलब?
Indians in the UK now.
They're all loving it.
So while all the other things that you do, please also watch this video.
Yes, please do. Watch this video, watch Ronaldo's video, watch Jose Mourinho crying, and watch Jesus kicking the VAR machine at VAR machine. Sorry, not VAR machine. VAR machine is a fantastic movie by Brad Pitt. You can watch that also if you want. So we will let you go so you can go watch all those amazing videos. We usually come out on Wednesdays, and when I say come out, I mean release. And sometimes Thursdays. This one's on Thursday because Monday night football is imperative. We watch United play a very drab game with Wolves. So if you like this podcast, don't forget to check out other interesting podcasts on the IVM network. You can listen to us on the IVM podcast app or ivmpodcast.com. You can also follow us on our social media. We are at IVM Podcast on Twitter and Instagram. If you want to reach out to me, I'm Fickleberry Hun. That is Huckleberry Finn, but Fickle on Instagram and Twitter. Sapre is
Sapre on Twitter and G Sapre on Instagram.
And if you want to reach out to me,
woohoo,
yeah.
I say that. You can't react. What are you so happy about? It's free.
Let him be happy about it.
But
no?
when you join this platform, you get initially very excited, right? So
people initially very excited.
Yeah.
People are excited. Please tell them, Karthik.
Yeah, at iRant, which is IYERANT on both Twitter and Instagram. We are Football Shootball. Recognize.
Love you, Sangeeta Bijlani.
Advertising is dead. Yep, you heard me right. Advertising is dead. We're all in the content business now. Let's not call it news, TV, radio, etc., etc. It's all content, and we're in the middle of this weirdly exciting phase where all the borders and lines that have been drawn over decades has been swept away by this lovely thing called the internet. We're a show where we don't dwell on just the stuff that is now, but rather the wider stuff about advertising, media, content, and the whole goddamn circus surrounding it. Tune in every Tuesday for our weekly unboxing of the mystery box we used to call advertising. I'm Varun Dugirala, co-founder and content chief at The Glitch, and this is my new podcast, Advertising is Dead.
Janice, what do you think couples did before TV was invented?
I don't know, go for walks on the beach, long drives, fancy dinners, have more sex maybe?
But what did we do when we decided to move in together? We debated between the Chromecast and the Fire Stick.
We gave up on sleeping early so we could stay up watching true crime shows.
We got ourselves 3 cat babies.
And basically became the cutest couch potatoes around.
Okay then.
In case you guys still haven't got it, we are a TV crazy, Netflix loving, binge watching Mr. and Mrs.
I'm Anirudh Kuha.
I'm Janice Sequeira.
And if like us you snort TV for breakfast, lunch and dinner, this is the podcast for you.
Tune in every Thursday on the IVM Podcast app or wherever it is that you get your podcast from. This is
Mr.
and Mrs.
Binge Watch.